So picture this, you're driving through the state of New Jersey with a lawfully purchased firearm. You have a permit to carry from out of state, you're keeping it in your glove box, you haven't broken any traffic violations except you got a broken taillight. You're not speeding, you're not failing to maintain lane. Is it a felony to have that gun in the car? Spoiler alert, yes it is. It's a second-degree crime, punishable by 5 to 10 years in state prison, 3.5 years without parole. You see, New Jersey doesn't treat gun possession like most of the country. Even when a firearm is lawfully owned elsewhere, the second it crosses state lines, the rules change. And if you're out of state, it doesn't matter where you're storing that firearm in your car. It doesn't matter that you have a permit to carry. You are in violation of New Jersey's gun laws, period, full stop. That is subject to the Graves Act, which is punishable by between 5 and 10 years in New Jersey state prison with a mandatory period of 3.5 years of parole ineligibility. See, a lot of drivers assume a quick explanation will clear things up. They say it's registered, it's for my protection, it's been in the car for months, but those words, meant to sound harmless, often become the evidence prosecutors use to lock in a conviction. No threats, no intent, just possession. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to break down New Jersey gun laws and how out-of-state residents get caught off guard and what really happens the moment an officer discovers a gun in your vehicle. I'm Daniel M. Rosenberg. I'm a criminal defense attorney, and I've represented countless individuals who have been blindsided by New Jersey's strict gun laws that have taken them from an ordinary citizen to a defendant overnight. So here's what the law is in New Jersey for transporting a firearm if you are a New Jersey resident. This is the law if you do not have a permit to carry in the state of New Jersey. It needs to be locked and secured in your trunk. The ammunition needs to be separated, and you have to go from point A to point B where it's lawful. Meaning, you can drive to the gun range, you can drive to the gun store, and you can drive back to your home where you're lawfully allowed to own and possess weapons. If you're on your way to the gun range and you stop to get gas, you just violated the law. You're on your way to the gun range and you pick up your friend, you're in violation of the law. So not only are these gun laws harsh and unforgiving, meaning they're strictly construed against you. This is literally how routine stops become felony charges here in New Jersey. So now if you're out of state, well, that's an entirely different story. If you live in Pennsylvania, neighboring state to New Jersey, you come over here to get gas and you have a permit to carry, you lawfully purchase that firearm, you have it on your hip, you have it in your glove box, anything, doesn't matter. That's a second-degree felony, punishable by 5 to 10 years in New Jersey state prison. You get stopped, you say, yes, officer, I'm following the law. Here's my permit to carry. I have a firearm, it's right here. They're gonna say, thank you very much, sir. Please step out of the vehicle. They're gonna place you in handcuffs. You see, New Jersey doesn't recognize out-of-state permits to carry, and ignorance is not a defense. I've represented countless individuals who genuinely believed they were in compliance with the law. I've represented individuals who are armed security guards in Pennsylvania who have traveled over the bridge and been charged with a violation of unlawful possession of a weapon. When that happens in New Jersey, it is subject to the Graves Act. That means that judges who normally have wide discretion when it comes to sentencing have virtually no discretion. This is mandatory. Good guy, doesn't matter. No prior criminal history, irrelevant. This is absolutely why you need an experienced and skilled defense attorney advocating for you, because otherwise you're looking at state prison. So obviously this is a life-altering potential consequence. So when we get cases, we leave no stone unturned, and it all starts with the motor vehicle stop. Was there reasonable suspicion or a lawful reason for the motor vehicle to be stopped? If it wasn't a lawful stop, we file an application with the court, request that the entire case be dismissed. If it is a lawful stop, we go on to the next step of the analysis. Where were you going? Why were you going there? Did you violate any other laws? For instance, were you in possession of any illegal drugs or alcohol? Were you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol? If you were in your own state and you were you traveling in a manner that is lawful in that state? All of these things matter because the goal is to keep you out of prison and avoid a conviction in that order. And avoiding a conviction in New Jersey is tremendously difficult, but it is possible. One of the ways is to avail yourself to the pretrial intervention program. This is a diversionary program that'll help individuals avoid a conviction altogether. They don't just let you into this program, you need permission from the prosecutor, you need to file something called a compelling state of reasons, which is an extensive application to the court, which we are very, very familiar with and file them frequently. If you get into the program, you comply with the terms and conditions, ultimately the charges are dismissed. That's our best case scenario if we can't beat the case outright. If we can't beat the case and you are not eligible or for any reason you're denied from the pretrial intervention program, there's still the possibility of keeping you out of prison. And that's by arguing for what's called a Graves Act waiver. That is where the judge is permitted to sentence you outside of the mandatory minimum. That means less than 3.5 years without the possibility of parole. Whatever the situation is, early intervention is critical. You're stressed, you don't know what the outcome's gonna be, you don't know what the next steps are, you've got court dates coming up, you need legal counsel and you need someone advocating for you to put you in the best position for the best possible result. So if you or someone you know are facing gun charges in the state of New Jersey, contact our office. We'll take the time we need to assess your situation and craft a customized defense strategy to your specific stop and circumstances. Don't fight this alone, we have your back. That's what we do.